Yeah. Fresh out the cell with a plan and a boo. Ain't clip beeping, but my heart's beating for you. Let's go. Met her on a prison pen pal site. She said you cute even in that orange light. Now I'm home and I'm free, kinda on probation. She picked me up in a Prius, pure elation. Got a teardrop tat and a heart full of dreams. She brought cupcakes and some government cheese. I said, girl, you a snack, maybe even a feast. She said, you just hungry cause you live with the beast. Love after lockup, wild and free. Got no keys, but she got the key to me. From yard time to FaceTime, look at us glow. From prison phone calls to reality show. Love after lockup, we don't play. Tinder got nothing on JPay. I did my time, now I'm doing hers. Doing laundry and love, both in spurts.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Love After Lockup Lockdown, where we are covering Season 2, Episode 40. As always, you can find us in our Facebook group and on Instagram at Love After Lockup Lockdown. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Lisa.
And this week we're covering Season 2, Episode 40. It is an episode of Life After Lockup titled Skeletons in the Closet. Lisa, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Fantastic.
Well, so I'm glad to see all of our old favorites back here. I feel like we're going to say Andrea and Lamondre instead of Andrea and Lamar.
I liked, why couldn't we have Andrea and Lamar and just give Andrea to Lamondre?
Yeah, I actually really like Lamar. We
I do
never
too.
really, yeah, we barely met Lamondre. He seems perfect for Andrea. Perfect.
Well, this week we start with Angela and Tony. And Angela says it's 6:30 on a Saturday morning and producers are missing out by not being there as she's burning the stuff he gave her.
I know she's like I don't know what she's doing recording herself. She's on a FaceTime with herself. I don't know what she's doing, but she's talking into the camera. You can see her face.
I think she's just making a video on her phone is what it looked like to me.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looked like because she like you could see her face. She had it facing herself.
Yeah.
So, so she's like, I wish you were here because Tony did a lot of shit that she didn't know about.
She said she found out that he's been lying and keeping secrets. That's no surprise at all.
No, and as you said, she's basically burning all his shit. But well, it's not his shit. It's all the letters that he gave her, and she lets it be known that that's all that he gave her besides a hard time.
Right? Letters in a hard time. I like Angela. She's funny.
I do like her, and she finally accepted your friend request. She hasn't accepted mine, but I did follow her on our show's page. But I would absolutely love to have her on. I don't know if that's legally possible for her, and I don't even think she would do it, but that would be a hell of an episode, and people would love that because people like Angela.
So, 8 hours later, the producers show up and they ask her what happens. And she says that he got up out of bed the night before and went to lay on the couch with his phone. And after he fell asleep, she took the SIM card out and put it in hers because she couldn't get his phone unlocked. Sneaky, sneaky. I like it.
Smart lady. I to figure that out, she's smart. We know she's smart. We know that she is. She's disgusted with him. She wants to puke. She wants to kill him. This is gross. This is beyond level gross. It's a level up of grossness than just regular cheating because this is prostitutes. So he could be bringing her home diseases if we don't know if these prostitutes are being safe. We have no idea. This is very, very risky and very disgusting for her.
It's definitely risky. And that's not, even if that's a risk that Tony wants to take, it's not a risk that Angela agreed to.
Exactly. 100%. She did not ask to or does not expect to be exposed to possible STDs, STIs from her partner. That's not fair, and actually it's actually illegal. So
But it seems like he's working at either the same motel or another motel. And what he's doing is he's giving these sex workers free rooms in exchange for sex.
Yeah. She said he's working there. Last we knew, he wasn't working at all. We ended the last episode, the finale with episode 39 of Love After Lockup, with him entering the motel room. And at that point, he said he was going to go for counseling. I I thought he wasn't working. So I don't know if some time has passed or what, but we did see him entering a room talking to someone. We assumed it was a prostitute, but we weren't sure.
Now, he doesn't know at this point in time that she knows. He doesn't know that she got into his phone and has all this information.
And he's a dumbass because he's obviously not hiding shit. Well, putting a screen lock on your phone, anyone could break that, dude. Anyone can get into a phone.
I don't know. Like now, I mean, they don't have cards or phones don't have SIM cards, or you can't like remove them and just put them into a different phone. I didn't even know you could do that.
Oh, you definitely can, because I've done it myself, because I lived this sort of life, and and so I know this well. At Yes, older phones did have SIM cards, and you could take them out, put them into another phone, see everything that was on them. But now you're right, they don't have SIM cards. iPhones, Android's newer phones, but there is always a way to get past your screen lock, because if you forget your screen lock code or your design or whatever, you can absolutely retrieve it. you, you just pretend that you're them. There's many ways, many ways.
Next up, Megan, Michael, and Sarah. And Michael's on his way to go see Megan, and he takes a phone call from a woman who is not Megan.
And we don't hear who it is. I'm thinking it's a girl named Maria from what I remember, but I'm not sure. So he's in the cab talking to that girl. The producers are like, "Oh, was that Megan?" And he says, "No, it's just a female that called at the wrong time."
Right.
Okay.
So he walks up, he knocks on the door, and she answers, and she's like, "What are you doing here?" So she supposedly had no idea that he was coming all the way to Texas. I don't know that I believe that. And she just happens to be home.
She just happens to be home. She happens to be all dolled up and going out just at that very moment in time. She's home. She had no idea this dude was showing up. Bullshit.
Yeah. And he says he wants to talk to her, and she just kind of ushers him outside. She doesn't want to let him in. He's like, "Why aren't you letting me in?"
Oh, because her dad's gonna freaking kill him. That's why.
Yep. And that's what she tells him. "I don't want him to know you're here."
hmm Yeah, she said, "Well, from where I stand, they're on a break." So she didn't know where they stood.
Right. She says that him being in Texas is her dream, but they have a lot of things to work out. I'd say.
hmm She says, "Well, you're still on your player shit." Okay, we all know this, but again, you know this, we know this, everybody knows this, dad knows this, B knows this. Why are you still entertaining this?
Right. So he says he came because he doesn't like the way that they left things, and he apologizes to her. I don't think we've heard Michael apologize before, have we? To anybody?
No, no, but it's in a way that's very like gaslighting, narcissistic. He's like, "Well, it's hard when you hurt someone, and then they hurt you back, and there's no trust." Again, he's spinning it, and he's going in the circle where, "Oh, well, I hurt her, but she also hurt me." Okay, you are a married man with children, and you hit a whole wife and a whole brand new baby from her. That's a little different. How do you cheat on someone who's already married?
But any respect I had for Megan disappeared when she continued to talk to him after finding out about Sarah and the girls.
Yep. And I think that in our Facebook group, people wholeheartedly agree. No one cares for Megan because she continued on with this when she found out he was married with a brand new baby. She already knew about the other child. She should have been like, nope, walked right away. That is where everyone lost respect for Megan.
But Michael continues to lie. Megan says she doesn't want to waste her time. But Michael says, hey, the divorce papers are together. That's not true. Even though Sarah had them drawn up, we know that to this day, they've never been filed. But she confirms with him. She says, the papers have been filed. And he says he didn't bring them, but yes.
They have to be served, and they are not served. So Sarah can have them all day and showed them to him, but they have not been legally served. So this is null and void. Megan's like, well, do you have the papers with you? He says no. He's just using this for a way to impress Megan, or make it look like well, look, I'm telling the truth now. We have these imaginary divorce papers that I'm just telling you about. Why not believe me? I've been so honest with you before, right?
But Megan has to know that there's a chance he's lying because he's lied so much. Most of what she knows about him is a lie. So Megan says that he's asking for trust, but he hasn't taken any actions to earn that trust. And that's absolutely true.
Mm-hmm. So Michael comments on her outfit and how she looks, and he's like, "Oh, where are you going?" And she goes, "Well, I'm about to go out with B. Do you want to come?" Oh, this sounds like a great idea.
And it's fucking rude too. Like as B, you should ask him, is it cool if Michael comes with me? But she doesn't do that.
No.
So Megan says that B is one of her biggest supporters and her best friends. And I can see that. And you would listen to somebody who has your best interests at heart.
Hmm. Yeah. We've met B before, and we knew his views on Michael, and I don't think that they've changed.
No. But Michael, being who he is, he tells Megan to remember he came a long way to see her. So he doesn't want her to forget, hey, I came all the way here just to see you.
Uh-huh. Yeah, isn't he sweet?
And she says, you're going to have to do more than show up. You're going to have to show out. But it's just words coming from her because he can do it, like literally whatever he wants to do. And you're going to be like, that's fine. That's my bae.
Yeah. So then we cut to Sarah, meanwhile, just being a mom to Michael's kids while he's off in Megan land, just ignoring his actual responsibilities in life.
As always, I mean, he's never taken care of any of his responsibilities for a brief couple weeks there in season 1, I guess it was. Season 2, I don't know. I forget. But Sarah is just sitting there with Aviana while Aviana's drawing her. And Sarah goes, is that what my face really looks like? And Aviana goes, definitely not. She's so cute.
Yeah, she seems very smart for her age, and
Yeah.
very like articulate. So Sarah says that she and Michael are still married but legally separated. So there we do know that they now are legally separated, and that's because papers have been filed.
So she gives Aviana her phone to give Michael a call.
So there were two phones, and I'm wondering if Aviana actually has a phone. She asks her, do you want to call daddy? And she calls, and of course he doesn't answer, and Aviana is like, well, he never answers, which is really sad.
That was really sad.
Yeah, and it's just like a child is not going to sit there and lie. They did not tell Aviana to say this.
No.
She spoke the truth. She calls her father, and he doesn't answer. Now, my thoughts went to possibly it is Sarah and Sarah's phone number, and he just ignores calls from Sarah. However, if Sarah is calling you and she has your two children with her and she is calling you, you should answer no matter what. What if there's an emergency? What if one of the children's what if one of the children needs something? I don't know. But the reason why I say about the two phones is she's like, do you want me to pretend to be daddy and call you and we can talk? And Sarah goes into the kitchen, puts a hat on, very cute, and calls Aviana with another phone, and they talk as if she's daddy.
Sarah says that the chaos of the last 2 years has taken away from who she is and the life she's living. And I'm sure it is. To be repeatedly heartbroken and lied to, betrayed, to raise two children by yourself, all of those things are going to weigh heavy on you.
And she's way too lenient on this man. She says things like, Michael does not contribute to anything for the girls. And she's not talking about money. She says that I don't really care about money, but she just wants physical help. She wishes that he would give her a break sometimes, meaning that he does not see these children. He does not take them and have visitation with them.
Oh, yeah. I never expected that he would. And honestly, it's probably for the best because he's dangerous. He's been charged with child neglect or child endangerment since this time. So, do you really want your kids with somebody like that who has,
Yeah, I mean, definitely not. It would have to be under her roof, probably, so that she can make sure that they're at least somewhat safe. But yeah, the Michael's been in a lot of trouble, a lot of trouble. He is in constant legal trouble, constant. I mean, you can go onto Sarcasm and you can see his whole like rap sheet, and it has just been like years of constant breaking the law, and one of them being the very serious child neglect charge.
And Sarah says she's tried calling and texting, but he never responds. And that's probably why he doesn't respond to Aviana either. He just is ignoring them all and is writing it off under must be Sarah.
Yes.
Next, we visit Brittany and Marcelino, and they're driving, and Brittany says it's a lot to have kids and a dog and a house.
Yeah, but they are doing really great at this moment in time. And she is pregnant again, and they're heading to their ultrasound, which is cool.
They say that it's unexpected because she had a 10-year birth control implant. That's crazy. I've
Hmm.
heard of that, not that specific situation, but birth control that should not failing.
Yeah, well, there's always a percentage
Yeah.
that a failure. So she is 14 weeks pregnant. She never thought she would get pregnant again. She did not want to have another child. So there is a 0.1% chance of getting pregnant on this birth control. And Marcelino says that was the Puerto Rican breaking through.
Yeah. They tell the ultrasound tech to keep the baby's gender a secret. And then we find out, though, that this is her fifth child. So she has two boys and two girls so far.
Hmm. The first two children, she was a teenager and she lost those two, and they were given up for adoption. And she does say that she's extremely motivated to find her first two children. On her Instagram, it does look like she's at least found her daughter.
I believe she's found both of them, but you could be right. I think she has found her daughter. Someone's I had read, but it's been a while, said that she had found both of them.
I don't know. I wonder if we hear that or not um in any of these episodes, but I'm not sure.
She says this baby may be unexpected, but it's not unwanted.
Yeah, I mean, they seem like pretty stable. I mean, they have a decent life going on, and a baby wouldn't be a hardship for them, really. It was just unexpected. Obviously, she was planning on not having another baby for at least 10 years. But yeah, she says it's going to be a strain on their budget, but all children are, no matter what.
Now they have 100% physical and legal custody of Gio, and Tito's visitation has been suspended. So that took a drastic turn from where we left them.
I hope we learn why. I had speculated when we covered them last time that Tito didn't look good and that he might be back on drugs. But I hope we find out why. They really didn't say.
No, they didn't say. Next up, Andrea and Lamar, and Andrea shows up to a sip and see, which is when a baby is born, you have tea and lemonade and do crafts and see the baby.
I wrote that she arrives at her white Mormon girl's house.
Yeah.
So this is Stephanie that just had a baby.
Her friends ask her when she's going to go visit Lamar, and we find out quite a bit of information throughout this. Andrea thought that when Lamar got out of prison, they were going to have sex all the time, and he was going to take care of her so she could be a Mormon housewife and make jam. And that's not what's happening.
I know she thought that he was going to be paying the bills. Yeah. We're in a different time period than the Mormon lifestyle fits in here, guys.
Maybe in Utah that's the way it is. I don't know. Never
I
been.
don't know. No, me either. But apparently it's like the Mecca. And you can just live there and be like a housewife like it's 1952 and not have to worry about paying any bills. And your husband just goes off and works on the farm. I don't fucking know.
Well, like, she even admits, she says she was dumb as hell for believing that. We all knew that. Like, I like Lamar a lot, but the whole idea of what you were doing was ridiculous.
I mean, odds were pretty slim. He was in prison for a very long time. For him to step out and just walk into a job that's going to pay the entire household bills, what the fuck? And all we saw him do thus far is try to be a rapper. We knew he was working last time we covered him. We didn't know what he was doing though. Eh, so I don't even know.
I don't know. Her friend asks her how they can have a marriage when they don't live together. And then she tells us that they're still married, but she hasn't even seen him since he left Utah. This is like a year later. She has not seen her husband in a year.
That is bonkers. And she says that Lamar is a better father than he is a husband. How is this again? Because if she hasn't seen him in a year, that means he also hasn't seen the children in a year. Unless
Right?
like she's shipping them off to California, but I doubt it because she thinks it's so fucking dangerous there.
Her friend asks her if she's still in love with him, and she says she is, but she loves her peace of mind more. If that were true, you would not be on this episode.
Yeah, no. She says that when Lamar is with her, he seems bored, but she says she still feels like Lamar is her soulmate. On what grounds are you coming up with this notion? What?
I don't
He's
know.
willing to live away from you, many states away from you. Hello?
She says that he's a different person around his friends and homies.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that because we saw Lamar being very much the same,
With his friends.
except yes, then I never saw a different side of Lamar other than maybe when Andrea started being a brat fighting with him getting in his face, but even then like he didn't he didn't hit her, he didn't like try to do anything to her. He was just letting her go off. He wasn't really doing I don't know where she's coming up with this. I saw one side of Lamar. Lamar. That's all I saw.
Exactly. It's just Lamar is Lamar. He doesn't try to be anybody else from what they show.
I don't know what the hell she's talking about. I think she's Delulu. Honest to God, this is another one who's just crazy pants.
He just laughs off a lot of her behavior.
There's such a mismatch. This is like one of the biggest mismatches thus far, hands down.
She thinks he's bored when they're together, but I think she's crazy enough to keep him entertained. I don't think that he's bored.
It, but I draw a fine line on whether you want to be entertained in the way that he's being
Yeah, that's true. That's a good
entertained.
point.
It's like I'm entertained, but this is not fun.
Not the fun kind. Her friend says it's ridiculous for a husband and a wife to live in different states. I mean, I think that goes probably against all of their Mormon beliefs.
Oh, she is the biggest Mormon rule violator known to man. Guess what? She has a secret. Only we don't wait several episodes to hear what the answer to this secret is, but for right now, it's a secret and that they had a relationship for 7 years, and Priscilla is 5, and Priscilla is actually Lamar's child. Shocking. Remember, you caught this, Jen? You caught that discrepancy in her age and the amount of years that they were together.
Lamar doesn't seem like the kind of dude who would be in a relationship with somebody for 7 years and then 2 years in let them have somebody else's baby and be like, no, that's cool.
Yeah. Yep.
But her friend says that she never told them about this and they feel betrayed. But is it really her place? Like, why do you need to say, I hunched up with Lamar in the prison closet for cash paying off the CO?
They caught this because they're like, well, you can't have conjugal visits because you're not married. And she like admitted that and then tells them that crazy closet story. But here's where I'm going with this. She was in that car when they were going through the car wash saying, "Oh, I can't possibly do this. I'm a Mormon and I can't have sex with you because we're not married." And then we find out that they did in a closet, and Priscilla is this man's child. She breaks every damn rule right in front of her Mormon girlfriends' faces.
It's funny because her friends they're so awful, but her one friend she yells at her to tell her how it happened right now. And then her other friend yells, it was an injection.
all all I can think of when she said that is just a turkey baster. And I really hated my brain at that moment in time. Then it went to the baggie of sperm and Cheryl and Josh.
Yep. That's where my brain was sitting. She does tell them that the only reason she didn't tell them until this point was because Lamar was on parole and he could have gotten in trouble. So supposedly, like, you can't backdate the crime. I don't know, but suspicious.
That's not why. Because she plays up this goody, I'm a Mormon like you. Look at me. I'm just like you. When she's so polar goddamn opposite from these women
Absolutely. Well, I mean, then they should be. We don't know how they really are.
behind Mormon closed doors.
Her friend says, I don't want my baby conceived in a closet, but I guess it works for some people. And then her friends just tell her, like, you've got some choices to make. Like, you haven't been around your husband in a year. He hasn't come to see you.
Uh these are like the world's worst friends.
They're so funny, though. They're good for quotes. Because you're like, whoa,
They're
I can't believe you
funny.
said that.
They just say whatever the hell comes to mind. There is no filter.
Yep.
They just say it.
Next up, Lacey, John, and Shane. And Lacey and Shane are in a waiting room of some kind, and she asks him if he's nervous.
Oh boy. We start this like scene with that, and then Shane's like, "Oh, I just got out of prison and I this and that and I hit the lotto." Really? You hit something.
He says he can't wait for her to have surgery. And we're left, like, as this scene is leading us through, we don't know what the hell they're talking about. And they finally sit down with the doctor.
Hmm. Yeah. It's this is a fertility doctor, and Shane just goes in, like, because we all do this on the show, just goes into his whole story. I've been in prison for 4 years, blah blah blah. I'm young. He just tells the whole story, and the doctor's like, "Oh," and that doctor's being really nice.
Yeah, we met on a pen pal dating site when I was in
Yeah.
prison, blah, 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 blah. She's like, great. I'm
Yeah.
sensing stability here.
Hmm. Oh, she makes some very nice digs when she's speaking to them. She's very polite about it.
So they're getting ready to move into their new house, and they say they're getting along great.
And okay, they do appear to be getting along well, but the cameras are rolling. So we do find out that Lacey is there because she wants to have her tubes untied so that she can have Shane's baby, because apparently She had a tubal ligation and now she wants it undone.
Right. And it's apparently Shane's idea to do this. He wants her to have his baby. And the doctor asks how many kids they want. And Shane says two because he wants a boy. And if the first one isn't a boy, he wants to try again.
Okay. Do you want to go on this one or do you want me to go?
You know what? Have at it. Merry Christmas.
Because what if we just keep having girls? Are we going to have like 10 children just to try for a boy? Is this like, so yeah, so they're just going to have unlimited babies until they have a boy, I guess.
With him, I think he would be fine with that. To, just keep having my baby because I need a boy. But he tells the doctor that they have sex 5 to 10 times a day. And she's like, how do you find time to work? And he tells her it's his job to be in the bedroom for Lacey. I'm sorry, that's so trashy. Your doctor does not need you to entertain her with your bedroom antics. She's just trying to help you get pregnant.
Yeah. So where my brain went with this is I believe we heard that they do OnlyFans together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's how Lacey earns a lot of her money. And so I'm guessing at this point, he's helping her earn money because they're having sex on camera. And therefore, vicariously through Lacey, he is helping her earn money. But Lacey has other ideas because she wants him to get a job, like a job.
It seems so, right. And he tells us that she's been on his ass about getting a job, and he doesn't blame her, but he's a felon. So he's kind of just writing himself off.
Yeah. Okay, so he's giving this bullshit excuse that it's hard for felons to get jobs. He's using that as the excuse, I'm a felon, no one's going to hire me, and that's bullshit because not usually, sometimes it's easier for felons to get jobs. But there are places that don't give a shit, like Josh when he was going to get hired at a roofing company. I mean, McDonald's, Walmart. There's so many places.
Can you work at Walmart with a felony?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Oh,
drove a
really?
lot of people who worked at Walmart with felonies. They
I
were
did not know
managers
that.
too.
Oh,
No.
wow.
Oh yeah, yep. Yep, definitely former drug abusers, no teeth and all.
So the doctor tells them about IVF as an alternative to having her tubes untied or reversed, her tubal ligation reversed. And Shane asks how long sperm lasts frozen, and the doctor says 20 plus years. And then she continues to explain the process, and Shane says, what's an embryo?
And Lacey looks at him like she looks at him and I can't even explain the look, but it was so funny.
I
Like
would have been so embarrassed.
she was, and at that point you could just see it on her face. She's like, I'm with an absolute dumbass right now. That's the look. But good news is that they have 20 years now to have all these babies.
Oh, which is a brilliant idea. Just keep having them. But the
Yeah.
doctor tells us that she's nervous about Shane because he's young and his maturity level is not where it needs to be a father.
Uh-huh. Yeah. That seems to be a very big concern with this doctor. She's trying to be nice about it and professional, which is great. But basically, she's like, this is a terrible idea. He then goes on to say even more embarrassing things about if there's any material he can use to assist him at masturbating into a cup.
Yeah. Yep, he needs assistance with his sperm sample.
Uh he watched too many movies in prison. I don't know, but for a dude that's 22 years old and is having sex 5 to 10 times a day, I don't think he's going to have a hard time masturbating into a cup. Let's just put it that way.
He shouldn't have any trouble. No.
No.
And the doctor is like, you're 22 and ready to be a dad. And he's like, oh, yeah, 100%, which tells you he's not really thinking about it.
And then we see Lacey saying she doesn't know if Shane is ready for a baby because he's never held a baby. He's never like had any experience with this.
Any experience. He wants a baby, like in theory.
Yeah. You'd want a puppy.
Yeah, it's a great idea in theory until it happens. And then you're like, damn, this is a lot of work.
Uh-huh.
Next up, Megan, Michael, and Sarah. And Megan and Michael walk in the restaurant to meet B. And this is where we find out she apparently never told B that Michael was coming.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they sit down in this bar. I think it's like a bar restaurant, and B's there, and it's all kind of a surprise. And the waitress comes over, and Megan orders they're just getting right to it. Megan orders a shot of whiskey, and Michael orders himself a shot of Patron. And I'm like, okay, big spender, who's paying for this Patron shot?
Yeah. We don't think he has a job at this point.
It's never mentioned about Jobs and Michael. All we saw was him trying to be a rapper.
So B asks him what's going on with Sarah, and he just says that the divorce is being processed. That's lies. Lies. He just lies. It's so easy, like second nature to him.
Yeah, B is all like over him. "Yeah, how do I know you're telling the truth?" And he says, "You didn't tell Megan you were married. She just
Right?
found out." Because Michael's acting like as if he actually was honest with Megan and told her. No, you told her because she found out.
Then B says that Megan could do so much better than forehead and that he doesn't trust him.
I'm sorry. And it's true. It's so true.
I like B a lot.
They have to think this girl is out of her mind. She is an attractive girl. She looks like she comes from a good background, and we know she's intelligent. What is this girl doing?
It's an excellent question. And then B continues to make relevant points, and Michael continues to talk nonsense. He just talks in circles, saying whatever comes out of his fucking mouth. I don't think he even knows what's coming out when he says it.
Yeah, he's like, "Well, Megan loves you, and she's looking at it differently than me." And B's like, "You just lied and you fucked up."
Right. And he says, I'm not here to prove myself to B. Well, I mean, I guess you don't have to, honestly, because Megan will let you do whatever you want.
I know. It's like the friend that could tell you anything in the world, talk to you, tell you all the truth right up to your face, and you're just still gonna do whatever the hell you want to do. It's so frustrating to be a friend of on the other side of something like this, where you're just telling them, this is bad, this is a bad idea, and you're just doing the opposite.
Yeah. So Megan tells B that Michael showing up proves that he's not going to do those same things to her again. He literally is doing it as you're saying that.
He was let's go back to the scene where he's literally in the car on the way to see Megan talking to another woman.
Yep. And B tries to be supportive, but tells him he doesn't trust him and says he thinks he still has other women. Well, that's a smart bet.
It doesn't take a genius to figure out that he absolutely is. This is like trying to decode Tony. We
Right.
know we know it's very highly probable that he's talking to other women.
And then B says he hopes Michael meets her dad because he's a big guy and he'll whoop his ass. Wouldn't that have been
Mhm.
great to see?
Yeah, Michael is a little guy. This dad could just swing him into the street
Bye-bye.
with his big forehead and all.
He could ragdoll him across the yard.
Uh-huh.
So B says he'll get to know Michael because Megan cares about him. But regardless, he's not going to trust him.
I think he's just going to try to protect her. I think that B is Megan's Tommy. Not that he's in love with her, because I believe that that's definitely not the case here, but he's going to protect her
And
and
yeah,
try to talk sense into her.
back to Brittany and Marcelino, and they tell Gio that she's pregnant and he's going to be a big brother again, and he is so excited.
Yeah. And then they're talking about how Marcelino got to name Zoila and she wants to name this baby because apparently when she was like all drugged up and passed out in the hospital, they just brought him the paperwork and he just named the baby.
I hope that's not true. That would be a fucked up thing to do.
It's a cute name though. I wouldn't be upset with that name, but yeah.
It doesn't matter like what the name is. It would be a betrayal for somebody to do that to you, to just be like, I want to name this kid, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So he tells Gio that if it's a girl, he's still going to have to love her. And Gio was his typical cute self. Back to Lacey, John, and Shane. And Shane and Lacey are packing, and Shane starts drinking. And Lacey says, Hey, it's not even noon.
Huh? So they're renting right now. Well, Lacey's renting right now. And they needed a house if they're going to have more kids. Again, she says that Shane's inexperiences are something that she knows she signed up for, but it's becoming more and more like evident that it's an issue.
It looks like he finished an entire bottle of alcohol.
Uh-huh. Yeah. She says that she doesn't really like Shane drinking, especially when they're like doing stuff like this, and that once he starts, he doesn't stop. This is not good. This is not good.
So she says everything should have been packed. And he said, That's why we pay the movers. And she's like, I paid the movers.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and I am married to a former mover. Just because you hired movers doesn't mean that they're going to come in and do everything for you. If you, there are different levels of packages of moving you can buy. You have to, it's very expensive to have movers come in, pack up all of your shit, and move every single thing out.
Absolutely. When we moved, we hired movers on top of us and family here moving additionally. Like we just had so much stuff, but it was all packed. I wasn't going to pay somebody to pack our stuff. It was in a storage unit ready to go. I was like, let's get this.
Did you happen to get an estimate for if they were to do that all for you? It's
I didn't.
crazy.
Oh, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, my husband has a friend that does that for a living. Like does the estimates and tells people what it's going to cost. But like in my past when I've hired movers, I've just hired them to take out the big stuff. And then I did everything else. Because
Mhm.
if you have strangers packing your shit, they're going through all of your stuff, your panties, all that
Yeah.
stuff. But
I'm good.
yeah, Lacey paid for it, and she says that he didn't buy the house. She bought the house and she pays all the bills.
With what I assume is OnlyFan money, which is fine.
Hmm.
But the question is he contributing to that OnlyFans and making money there at this point?
We don't really know the answer. I don't know if we will learn the answer, but I assumed that that's what he meant. But she's not looking at it that way.
She tells us that if you're going to be with her, you're going to need to have a job. And they imply that she's calling John while Shane is outside.
Hmm. Yeah, we learned that John was a good provider, that he did have a good job when they were together. So this is different for her.
Shane says he can't wait to move where all of the memories will be just Sean and Lacey. Shane and Lacey.
Sean and Lacey. It'll just be Chain and Lacey. Um, so she's trying to call John, and his phone is off, and that makes her very worried. We do know that John is a former heroin addict, so she's understandably worried. She says that he's still her friend, and they have history together. Last we saw them, she hated his guts. Now they're friends and they have history together.
Mm-hmm. She says he wants to be back with her and he's so in love with her and it's killing him.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that he was texting her saying that his chest hurt and that he's depressed. And now she's worried that he's not answering his phone. He's laying there passed out with like a needle in his arm.
But then she also says that she hasn't talked to him since the wedding.
Lies.
Yeah. Full of them.
Lies. Mhm.
She says she doesn't want to tell Shane about her conversations with John or that he messaged her because it'll mess up the marriage. If you know that, why are you communicating with him?
Anything that you keep from your significant other that you can't tell them is bad. It's
Yeah.
bad. It's betrayal. And it means that there's a reason why you can't tell them. In this case, I believe it's because Lacey's having second thoughts and she thinks she made a mistake.
Well, Lacey calls her best friend Miranda and tells her about John's messages. And Miranda's like, he's probably just doing it for attention. And Lacey's like, he's laying dead somewhere with a needle in his arm because she is as dramatic as always.
Hmm. I mean, at that point, wouldn't you call the police, the ambulance, or drive there if you were that concerned about that? Call his family, anything?
If you believed that, you would call his family, message somebody. If you're that close, you're telling me that there is no relationship with his family of any kind.
Yeah, if you you're like you and I have been in this situation, unfortunately, and if someone's telling you something serious or giving you the notion of that, you're calling just about anyone you know you can get you can get a hold of.
Right. Next up, Angela and Tony. And Tony finally comes home and he asks Angela for a hug and a kiss. She should have throat punched him right here, I think.
Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness. This dick. All right. So she's like, "We're done, Tony. Our relationship is over." And he's acting like he doesn't know what the hell she's talking about.
I bet he has gotten through his life denying. Not well, but I think that's his go to, is just to deny everything. And she goes,
Uh,
there are some things we're going to talk about, dude.
yeah. He believes his own lies. You can fully tell he believes he will get away with just about anything. And kind of blame Angela in this case. So she's like, "I got into your phone last night." And of course, deny, 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 right? Because what she's seeing with her own eyes can't possibly be true. Gaslighting.
She tells him that it's over, and he goes, no. And she's like, we're not getting married. What do you mean, no? You can't just do that.
Oh, goodness. All right. So he's been messaging prostitutes like we were talking about earlier, which is just so disturbing.
She tells him to get the hell out. And he's like, oh, I've got nowhere to go. So she calls his supposed girlfriend and tells her she's sending him to her. And the lady's like, oh, that's fine.
I know this is Brandy that she's talking to. Yeah, she's like, "Fine." Yeah, because Tony's basically her pimp. So why wouldn't she be fine with it? Oh, okay. And he's like, "I didn't do anything." Oh, no, you didn't do anything at all.
He says, I wasn't messing with hoes.
Oh gosh. Okay. Then she says, "Get your shit and your motorcycle and go." Why in God's name is she letting him take the motorcycle?
But he tells us, like, legally, her house is his parole address, so he has to live there. And he's like, it's just going to take her a while to calm down. Yeah. Oh, buddy.
Oh man, and unfortunately, I feel like that's going to be true and I hate it. But I'm worried that not only is that his parole address, but in some states, like you if you live somewhere for a certain period of time or you get mail there, it's your legal address and she'd have to evict him. And I don't know what the rules are where she lives. And I'm like, "Oh man, I hope that's not the case."
Well, she could always just have his probation violated with him not coming home and messing around with people who also have felonies. So,
Yes, there's so many possibilities. Yeah, yep.
but she pokes him like to taunt him. She's like poking him in the chest. And she was like, what are you going to do about it? And it was like the first time that she's really in his face and doesn't seem like he is the one that has the upper hand.
Oh, and he totally deserved this. And she's like, "I'll touch you if I want to. It's my house." And I was like, "Oh, please don't let this man touch her," because I was about to scream.
He's fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
So he tries to get her to put her ring back on, and she's like, I'm done. I'm done. Get the fuck out. So she finally gets him out the door.
Hmm. Yeah, she's got all his shit out there, and he's like, "Well, he's basically like, well, my shit better not be gone." And she's like, "Well, if you don't come get this before dark, it's going in the fire." And I believe her.
Oh, Angela, wherever you are, I hope you're having a good day. Who is your VIP this week?
I'm gonna go with B because he's trying his best. He's trying.
He sure is.
Yeah.
I also went with B. Good friend, Tommy level friend there. And your POS?
Well, I'm gonna go with Michael because no one was particularly terrible in the. I mean, it could have been Tony too, but we already know Tony's terrible. But Michael is continuing to actively be terrible. I don't know. Like out in the open,
Openly
terrible.
terrible. I chose Moist Tony because he told her he was going to get therapy to make himself better, playing off of her career and her sympathy for him trying to get better. And instead, he's out at least messing around with people he should not be messing around with.
Yeah, it was definitely a toss up between those two. They're so beyond awful.
They're so fucking bad. So that's about it for this week's episode. If you enjoyed the podcast, head over to Apple or Spotify to rate and review. If you'd like to continue the conversation, join our group on Facebook at Love After Lockup, Locked Down. Listen every Wednesday wherever you find your podcasts and keep those notifications on to be the first to catch bonus episodes.
And in the meantime, don't fall in love.
And don't get locked up.
First date at Walmart, keeping it low. Told the clerk, don't judge me, I'm on parole. I brought roses, okay, 1 rose from a gas station. She said, oh babe, now that's validation. We be vibing in a halfway suite. Microwave dinners, romance elite. She my ride or die, she brought me a phone. Even snuck it in once, pre-release song. She hold me down like a key-o with charm. Except she don't mace me or twist my arm. We write vows in Sharpie on my court docs. Judge said no contact, but we beat the clocks. Love after lockup, cuffed and proud. Matching jumpsuits, now we rockin' the crowd. She said, don't mess up, I said, bet. Now we're TikTok stars with no regrets. So here's the love and second chance thrill. From a concrete bed to Netflix and chill. They said, don't catch feelings, but I caught a case of butterflies, girl, not just in one place. Ankle monitor beep. Oops, curfew gotta bounce.